Hello everyone, I'm recording this video to demo this macro-enabled psych report that I made, template that I made a while back. Thought I'd share it. It might be useful for some people if they already have a Word template in that has find and replace that gets used in it. I'm going to try not to yell too loudly because I don't want to wake up my wife and daughter, and I don't have a clip-on microphone, so hopefully the audio is not too bad. When you first open the report, you'll notice that you don't see this form at all because Office is very overprotective when it comes to macros, and so to use a macro you have to have it digitally signed by yourself. So first I'll show you how to get into the digital signature. If you see the developer tab here, go ahead and click on that. If you don't see that, then you'll have to go to the preferences for show more commands. Let's see, customize the ribbon, and there's a checkbox here for developer. By default that will be turned off and that developer tab will be hidden, so you need to make sure that that is being shown, and once it is, then you can go into the Visual Basic for applications. And this is if you've ever tried to record a macro in Word that you can play over and over again. The script for that recording gets saved in here. So we'll come back to that. What we need to do first is get our environment set up here. So I'm going to go to my documents or wherever and make yourself a folder to contain these reports. Just for an example, I went ahead and made myself a folder called Reports that is in C drive here, and if I can open that, say for example that I'm going to be at 2 different elementary schools. I'm going to be at Happy Day and Sunny Hill. Went ahead and just made a subfolder for each of those, new folder, put it in there, and then remember where you put those. And for simplicity's sake, I went ahead and put the psych report template in the same folder. So there's my 2 different school names, and there has to be another one called Other. It's just simply called Other, that third one. And the psych report, don't rename that, at least not yet. Make sure it has the same name, 1-psychrep, PsyRep. Okay, let's see. So go ahead and minimize this. Next thing we want to do is go, actually I guess if you have Office 2010, you can probably just go to the Microsoft Office in your all programs here in the start menu, and then under Office Tools there probably will be a thing for creating a digital certificate, a self-cert. For some reason in Microsoft Office 2013 they went ahead and hid that from us, so for that you got to go back, C drive. I'm using a 64-bit system, so I have to go to Program Files x86 and then find Microsoft Office, and let's see, I think it's here, Office 15, and then scroll all the way down to the S's, since I'm in alphabetical order here, and it's called Self-Cert. Here it is, and go ahead and just name it anything, give it your own name. Mine already has a certificate, but I'm creating another one just to show you. So successfully created certificate Steve A. Okay, so go ahead and close that window. Now when we come back here to our and I'll go ahead and close this and reopen it just to be sure here. So again, when you first open it, you don't see this. You just see a little warning bar at the top that says that it's disabled the macros. So so cancel the warning, and then go to Developer tab, Visual Basic, and then go to up here on Tools, I think is the one, and it says Digital Signature, and it might say no certificate, or it might say, it might have my certificate, but my certificate doesn't mean anything for you guys. You have to have your own that you made on your own computer. So choose, and here's the one I just made. So okay, now once it's signed by you yourself, go ahead and click OK and save that again, and then hopefully when you reopen it now, you will indeed see this this pop up here. If you don't, We'll cancel this again. If you don't, then go in Preferences for Word. So Trust Center, and Trust Center settings, and you probably don't want to turn this all the way down, but you can adjust it. I haven't enabled all macros on mine. I think having let's see, disable all macros except digitally signed macros, probably that's the one that you'll need to use to be able to use the word thing. The safety thing with Office, all I can tell you is I can promise you that there are no malwares in the code. Going back to the Visual Basic environment here. Oh, shoot, sorry about that. The different modules, there's this document, and there's forms, and then there's a couple of modules in here. None of them are password protected. You can look inside of them. They don't screw with your system. They don't create any new files on your system other than the templates for the different people. They don't edit your registry or put anything in your startup folder or anything like that. So let's look now at some of this code here. So the first code, every Word document that you ever open and use will have a thing in it called this document. And so for mine, this document, this is where the things, when the document opens, the first thing it does is it comes here and it says look at the name of the file. If the name of the file is 1-psychrep.doc, then go ahead and run that form that you see. And if it's not named that, then go ahead and just skip the form and just open the document for editing. That way, if you've renamed the file, say John Doe, it won't keep popping up that form each time you open it to edit it more. So if you do rename the thing, maybe you want to call yours Migrate Template, you would want to change it here also so that it's looking for that name, Migrate Template. Okay, so close this. So the next thing to look at is Form Main, and if you right click on this, you'll see there's two options. There's View Code and View Object. So View Object shows you the familiar thing that we were just looking at. This is the GUI, the GUI, graphical user interface, and for the most part, these things here are all cosmetic, really. So I went in and changed and put these fake names here for you, so you guys wouldn't have to see my actual school names that I work at. But to do that, you click on this. You can right-click it and go to Properties, or if you want, or if you have this Properties window already open, which you probably do, then you can just see the caption is Sunny Hill Elementary. And if I click on this one, then the caption is Happy Day Elementary. A very important thing to notice is the actual name of the different GUI elements. We have Option School 1, Option School 2, and then Option School 3. I could, if I wanted to, if I had, for example, 5 elementary schools, I could just, let's see, I made my screen really small so that everything would fit on here, but make a smaller video. But if the thing was bigger, I could drag this down, adjust these, make them bigger, and then just copy and paste this thing, and then change the name and call it School Option 3, School Option 4, School Option 5, and then just make sure folders for that, and I'd have to add the code. We'll show you how to do that. But hopefully you'll only have 2 or 3 schools, so you can just rename those and just have 2 of them with an other, just for emergencies. So let's see. So back up to Form Main here. I'm going to right click on it again, View Code. So when you put your own school buildings in, there's actually 4 different places that you're going to indicate those names. One is the folders that we made. I had mine in my C drive in that reports folder, and then a subfolder for each school I'm at. The second place you're going to change it is right here, this cosmetic piece, this caption. But the more important pieces are here in the code. Now this here is the code that corresponds. It's kind of the background brains behind this form that we are looking at here. So at the top, it just has some places. The text box here for the name is called text box name, and here you see it is text box name. The first one is F name. So if you don't enter a name there, it'll give you a little warning message that you didn't put a name. The option buttons are actually radio buttons. And by the way, with these radio groups, each group is contained in this frame, one of these frames. And for each group, you can only choose one, but one will always be chosen. So by default, it's he, him, his. If you click on this one, then the one here will disappear. So one of these is always going to be true. The other two is always going to be false. And if I click here, you'll see it is well, I'm not sure where it is, but when we get down to here, you'll see this is the school. So school option 1. If school option 1 equals true, then that means the directory for saving the report in is going to be c/reports happy day. And to get the correct name in there, I recommend, let's see, I've got this open twice. Close one of these. I recommend clicking on the thing and then go clicking up here. Make sure this is selected. Wait a minute. Open this folder up here, and then right click and do copy. All right. Copy that entire path, and then in here paste. So there it is. Make sure that you have still the parentheses around it here. So and make sure also that you have got the correct, so that it actually is school option 1 is Happy Day Elementary. Up here, school option 1 is yes, Happy Day Elementary. Okay, so so same thing for the Sunny Hill one, and then also for the other one. Mine here is in C/report/other, but yours will probably be in My Documents or one of those kind of things, right? So okay, so that is the third location that you have to change the name. The last one is down here with the find and replaces. So as I mentioned, the Word macros enable let you record something and play it over and over again. All this does really is it's doing that find and replace function for each of these elements here. So so for the school ones, it looks anywhere it sees the word the symbol here with the bracket B bracket, it's going to replace that with Happy Day Elementary if this top one is true. It's going to replace it with Sunny Hill if the second one is true. If the third one is true, it's going to look and then whatever you had typed into other, it's going to put the name. So if you were at I don't know, How High High School, and you put How High down here at the bottom, then it's going to look and see what the content in there, and anywhere in the report template that it sees this B, it's going to put How High. But when it saves it, it will save it in that other folder. Okay, so let's see. So the other piece, I guess, is let me show you the module here. So you'll see it's just a one line of code here. It says call do find and replace, and do find and replace is this module up here, which is just a little bit more code. Instead of having this appear over and over again throughout the main code here, we just call it as a separate function because it's the same thing over and over again, and it's just that find and replace thing. I used to have the report with a footer in it because I printed the actual report, and so I wanted the kid's name in the footer. I was never able to get this to work totally well, so the footer thing is not even used. You could probably delete that if you wanted to, but the more important piece is the bit here with the he, she, him, her, or they, them, and the find and replace up here. Rachel or somebody else on the Facebook school site group mentioned that she uses like HHHH for the I think maybe it was the he, and so you could do that too if you wanted to use that system. You would just put the HHH here instead of the bracketed E, and then Word would look for that and replace it with he, right? So yeah, so you can do that. But again, with the option buttons, so this is the gender option group. It's and if the top one here, option male is true, then this, let's say true, and it'll make these 3 replacements. Otherwise, it'll do the female, or if you're working with like transgender students, then they might prefer the gender neutral, so you can use the 3rd option. Do keep in mind that there can be grammar glitches with the 3rd option, because it's technically they, them, there is plural instead of singular, but you don't run into that too much. So after the find and replaces here, you have the document type, and the document type, this gets used in a couple different places. One is wherever that V is located, it's going to change it with either evaluation, reevaluation, FBA, or screen. The other thing is that when it does the rename of the report, it's going to suffix this after the kid's name and before the date. So it'll either say eval, reval, FBA, or screen. All right. So towards the bottom of the code here, we have the document save as file name equals, and then this is where it actually does the rename of the report. Let me get a drink of coffee here. So if you wanted to change the naming scheme of the automatic renaming, you could change it here. All it's doing here is it's looking for that first name and then putting a space, and then last name, hyphen, doc type, whether it's FBA or report or eval or what have you, and then date with this format for the date. So you can change that too if you want. At the very bottom is just a couple of error catching things, and the tips. If you click on tips or more tips here at the bottom, it'll show you the content of what's in this bottom piece here. So I think that is everything for this. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and hopefully if you've adjusted your security settings to allow digitally signed macros, and you have digitally signed it with your own digital signature, then next time you open it, you should hopefully see this bit with the thing here. So I have, if I have Joe Smith, and it's a he, an initial, happy day. You'll see in the background here, you'll see all of these little text codes in here. But when I click on run, it does 2 things. One is it does all those finds and replaces, and the other thing is it changes the name. So up here in the title, the top title bar of the window, you can see the name is still one PsyRep, but when I click run, it makes those replacements, and then it changes it to John Smith, initial and today's date. So hopefully, if everything's working right, then I'll close this, and sure enough, there he is. When I open it, it's now called Joe Smith. It's not called one PsyRep anymore. And so when Word opens this, it just skips that form and just leaves it like this for us to edit. So that's good. Let's see here. Another important piece is that when I open the main report, I can cancel. So cancel macro edit template. Just closes that, but leaves everything unchanged. So the name is still PsyRep, and then the codes are still here. I don't think I even am using the B and the V anywhere in the content of the report. It's changed many times over the years, and right now it's just very minimalist, because I was doing a lot of expedited evaluations at a high school for the last 4 years. So mostly it just has name and he, she, him. So as you go through, you'll see that. Let's see, what am I wanting to tell you? Oh, with the nickname. Hold on, let me reopen this. Okay, with the nickname, so you have first name is N, nickname is K, last name is L. So if you have a nickname, say James, and the nickname is Jim, you can utilize that if you want. If the nickname is blank, then what will happen is the macro will go through, and it will look for all of the K's and the N's, and it'll just put that first name in both of those locations. So the name and nickname will be the same if this nickname box is left blank. So let's see. I think I can't think of any other points to make right now. I guess maybe I'll add another video if I think of anything super important that got missed. But what I will say is that the content of my template here is not really impressive. You're welcome to use any of it that you want. But the key thing is that you could, if you have a similar report yourself, you should be able to just cut and paste the entire contents of your psych report and just paste it right into here. You just have to change it so it's using these same codes. And by the way, the codes are in yellow here at the bottom if you need a cheat sheet. All right. Oh, it looks like I didn't put the plural. I didn't put the gender neutral thing in here, but otherwise this is all the things. Let's see what else. The actual boilerplate content itself is actually made for goal view. We use goal view at my district, and so if you're using goal view and you're in Washington, then the different headers here will probably correspond to the ones you need anyway. Otherwise, they probably will not. You'll notice the greater than, less than signs here, and the reason I put those is because actually it's kind of tricky. You do the replacements and it looks like stuff you've already typed, and so I was getting confused whether or not I had typed a particular paragraph for a student or if it was just part of my boilerplate. And so I put this here just to flag that it's still part of the report. And I'll show you what I mean here. If you go to Happy Day and Joe Smith, scroll down here, and we'll see. Let's see. So the WJ4 was used to administer Joe's level of academic. Because it's customizing it and putting his name in here, it looks like something I typed, but it's actually not something I typed. It's something that just hasn't been called out of my report yet. So if it is something that I decide to keep as part of my report for Joe, then I just I delete the greater than, less than symbol. So let's see. I think that's everything. So I'm going to turn off the recorder now, and hopefully I won't think of anything after I do that. Thanks for watching, everyone.